This tutorial is for headstand. If you are unable to do full push-ups yet, I recommend that you continue working on your body weight strength and build towards a full push-up. You don't want to feel in this balance that all of the weight is being squished through your head, through your neck. We want to have a decent level of strength in our upper body. You can use cushions, you can also use a wall for this. I'm not expecting you to just go for this in the free space straight away if you've not done this before. The final thing is that make sure you've done a warm-up. This is just a tutorial, not the warm-up. We're going to start with hands shoulder width. Spread the fingers to create a nice solid base. We're creating a triangle or tripod onto the mat. So the hands are the base, the top of the head is the top bit of that triangle. From this position, keep the knees on the floor and just bring the top of the head towards the ground and then push back up. So we're coming down to this position here. Elbows are stacking on top of the wrists. Head is that top point of the tripod. And now all we're going to do is hook the toes and lift the hips. Walk the feet towards you and place the knees onto the backs of the arms or onto the triceps. That's your first level of headstand. So think about pushing the ground away through the shoulders so it's not all through the head. And that might be where you start. Next, you can have a go at starting to lift your knees off your arms. So we've come back, walked the hips up, place the knees on the triceps, and then see, can you bring the knees into the middle and back again. Play around with lifting the knees and lowering the knees. Next, you can have a go at raising a single leg all the way up, or just having a go at lifting both knees a little bit higher. We've started in our tripod, we've lifted the knees, maybe lift them both just a little bit higher, come back down, build your confidence, or keep one knee on the back of the arm as the other leg lifts up. Finally, we're going to raise both legs all the way to the top. If you're using a wall, try to avoid falling into the wall, that your whole back and everything presses against it. Try to have a bit of space so that you are raising the legs up, not relying on the wall, but you still know that it's there if anything's to go wrong. The important thing there is to not stop pushing through your hands. So don't suddenly panic and take your hands off the floor and put all the weight through the head. Use your shoulders and upper body to help create control and stability in the movement. So final one is we're going to raise both legs all the way to the top. We want to do this movement without kicking into it. So a lot of the time I have seen people set up for their headstand and start to kick up. There's a lot less stability there because there's a lot more momentum. So try to get into the habit of thinking about pulling yourself into the position as opposed to kicking, which is why I've started with that knee tuck shape. So we'll go from head on the ground, knees on the arms, lift them into the middle, hips are now on top of the shoulders, and I can start to straighten the legs up, keeping the feet together. As I come down, I don't want to just let my legs come crashing to the floor and smash my toes into the mat. So I'm going to tuck the knees back in again, find the backs of the arms, or gently bring the toes to the mat. Once you start getting a little bit more confident with this, to challenge your headstand, you could start to pull yourself in from a pike or straddle position. If you're not ready for these yet, don't worry, just keep practicing the ones before. So the pike variation, I'm going into that tripod shape, lifting the hips, pulling the hips up, and then I'm lifting the feet all the way up to the top. And then coming back down. As slow and controlled as I can. Then this straddle is taking both legs out wider. So set yourself up again, one last time. Feet go out wide, hips lift up, legs come out to the sides and up to the top. Then they go out again. Hinge at the hip, bring the legs to the floor. And that's your straddle headstand. So there's loads of different variations, and if you're practicing other movements like frog stand or crow balance, you could also learn a transition going from that balance into your headstand. But for now, think about moving slow with control, no kicking. You can use the wall, but try not to rely and let your body sink into the wall. Still have some space that you're having to build that awareness and control. And finally, just make sure that you keep working on those other body weight strength movements such as push-ups. You don't want to be feeling all of that weight squishing through your skull and your neck. That's our headstand. Let me know how you found this video. Pop me a little comment below if you've got any questions or anything that I've missed, or any other balances you would like me to do a tutorial on, then just let me know below.